Let's bake a sponge. To do this, first of all, preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. After that, proceed to whipping the egg whites with a pinch of salt until a light foam forms. Then add erythritol to it and, increasing the mixer speed, whip the mass until fluffy. Whip the egg whites until such a foam. Then, as I have said, add erythritol and, constantly increasing the speed, whip the mass until fluffy. We should whip our egg whites until the fluffy mass increases in volume. It shouldn't look like a classic meringue. Unlike classic meringue, our whipped egg white mass should not be shiny and should have an airy texture like this. Put the egg whites aside and proceed to the egg yolks. We should beat our egg yolks with a pinch of salt using a whisk. Having beaten the egg yolks, take the grapeseed oil and combine it with the kefir. After we have combined the grapeseed oil with the kefir, we can incorporate this mixture into the egg yolks. After that, set the egg yolk mixture aside and combine all the dry ingredients in a separate bowl. Pour in the cornstarch, the rice flour, which is gluten-free, the almond powder, the coconut flour, and the baking powder. Mix it with the whisk. After that, combine the dry ingredients with the egg yolk mixture. When you combine the egg yolk mixture with the dry ingredients, you will get a fairly thick mass. Next step is to combine this mass with the whipped egg whites. The batter is finished. Now we shall transfer it to our molds. I use the molds measuring 16 centimeters in diameter and 5.5 centimeters in height. I do not recommend baking this sponge in one mold, as we bake gluten-free cakes and they are very crumbly. And when you cut this sponge into 3 layers, you can destroy them and then it will be impossible to assemble the cake nicely. Pour 235 grams of the batter into each mold. Before pouring the batter into the mold, I recommend that you stir it so that the coarse fractions do not settle to the bottom of the bowl. After we have distributed our batter into the molds, put them in the preheated to 180 degrees Celsius oven for 20 to 30 minutes to bake. Our sponge is ready. We have been baking it at 180 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. You can check whether the sponge is well baked or not using a skewer. It should come out of it dry. Then we'll unmold our sponge and let it cool down at room temperature. After that, you can wrap it with cling film and put it in the fridge. If you're going to assemble the cake today or tomorrow, leave the sponge in the fridge. But if you're planning to do it in 2 to 3 days, then feel free to put the sponge in the freezer. Let's unmold the sponges.